get it on.
Yeah, I went with NAVI, less about Team Queso and honestly more about NAVI. This squad looked very comfortable, like you said. Good word choice.
Yeah,
because they just looked like they were on the high on the leader. You know what I mean? They just looked like they've been here before in a way that I didn't expect, and so I'm definitely excited. That sandwich looks good. I'm excited to see how NAVI goes on the field. Gem grab. Hard Rock Mine is our first destination. We'll do Hot Potato Heist and Ring of Fire Hot Zone. Brawl Ball and Knockout if we need it. But the P's and B's are in, and Otis is the first pick overall.
Yeah, a very interesting start there for Team Queso. Quite a safe idea. Otis obviously very, very strong still in the current meta. Meg's open. Again, I'm just going to be doing that today, putting that one out there. But I would imagine probably more of like a mid if you're going to have it. And I think there's probably better mids here actually to be able to consider. But the longevity, well, I was about to go down a different line of thought there, thinking that maybe in some way it's not viable. No, it absolutely is going to be the first pick here for Navi.
Yeah.
The bands though are quite nice as well. Surge, the Ruffs, and the Rico as well. On the side of Team Queso, the Janet, the Jean, and the Ash. Let's see what they want to follow up with. Penny, great for control, and of course with the new gears in play of the epic gear, the pets are going to have more damage, 20% more damage to that Penny turret.
Yeah, I'm not on camera, but I'm just like, why? I mean, I'm glad the Nita Bear gets 20% more damage, right? But the Penny turret too.
It extends to healing as well.
Yeah,
certain brawlers, yes, the Tara have a bit more healing as well, so we might see a bit more variation occurring, but nonetheless, it's definitely, I would say you're spot on though. That particular brawl has always been very, very strong. With a lot of utility, great knockbacks, and to add something more to her kit, it does beg the question, maybe Penny's getting a bit too strong, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's a big conversation about balance, but there's a lot of different doohickeys to move, so we'll see. Anyway, back in here, trust me, I can get lost in the weeds when it comes to design conversation, but we will not. We will look at Max and Carl and the Mute Man. I like this comp. I don't know if I love it just yet. I like the idea that Team Queso kind of has a couple of different options as far as gem carry is concerned. But I want to see how Navi finishes their draft, because I really like Meg and Penny.
It's a great pairing, isn't it? I mean, I'd imagine that Penny would be going on lane side, which would be an interesting place to see her played out. But Danny coming in, and that's a very underrated one. A very underrated one for Hard Rock Mine indeed. I mean, we saw just last month how Reply Totem were able to really turn the tides very, very quickly on Hard Rock Mine with that exact brawler. It got a slight buff in recent balance changes, not the most recent, but the ones prior to that, and has now brought Sandy into a much more viable place. So especially once that sandstorm goes down, the unpredictability that it provides really does mean that you pretty much have to kind of go a bit more further back onto the defensive and go on.
What was the buff to Sandy a couple of months ago? What was it?
A little bit more damage, I believe. Yeah, just a little smidgen.
Okay, word.
And it's just enough to bring him into the forefront, just a touch more. But ultimately, it's going to depend a lot on getting that utility down, getting the supers early, and we'll see whether Angel Boy can do just that.
Yeah, I've felt for a while that Sandy's been slept on. No pun intended.
You meant that.
I did it, I swear. A little nudge might be all he needs. But a little shove is what he'll provide to Javi, as we're tied at 3.
Good start. Both sides really, but now the Cube comes into the forefront, really starting to get himself dug in deep and healing now as well. That's bad news for Queso, but Javi does secure the left-hand side lane onto Angel Boy, and that's somewhat of a saving grace. In the meanwhile, though, on the right side, EMEA does the exact same thing, and now with super to hand as well, going down now short of the turret, providing that little bit of extra arsenal in the Navi kit, and it can go a long, long way. Sandstorm as well. You know, it's all looking very good so far. Great start for Navi.
Sandstorm does a great job, and the countdown begins, but Boss finds a kill on the right side and is now hunting down Cube. Still in the mech, so has an extra life, so to speak, but the kill on the other side resets everything. 8 gems now as 2 hit the floor.
Fire coming down now as well, and that's going to something for Javi to think about. He was trying to heal up along the way and is going to stay around 3,500 HP. Blacksea just trying to heal up himself, but Angel Boy is lurking, and the phase shift will not be enough to do it. 2 gems in the book of it. Oh, but no, the takedown on Angel Boy will reset things. We're now level Peggy, 8 gems aside, and that was a key takedown there for me on the side of Queso.
Immediate. That low latency response, so important from Team Queso. Boss has been, exactly as his name states, the boss man. Really, really powerful play here from Carl. He's going to go in one more time, this time on Cube. Finds the kill on the left-hand side as well. Make it triple. The team combines and puts everyone down. It's a zillion gems in the pocket for Team Queso.
What a play! I mean, that's just turned this entire game on its head, and there's not going to be nearly enough time for anyone to close the gap. Surely here, but get a try for it. Boss might go down, but no!
Deal with her, and my teammates will flank. If it does get a little too hairy, here comes Sandy, no problem. PS Angel, and then Team Queso went, cool, everyone go. And they just erased all of that progress. New game, though. Might be a little bit different for NAVI this time around. First kill goes to Team Queso Arc, but we're tied at 2. And although Blacksea is in the mid, I'm not sure if he's going to stay there as Cube wins the fight in the right lane.
Yeah, that mech survivor ability is just now quite insane, isn't it, to see? But out of mecha form, so he'll have to earn that back. Speed coming in from Blacksea and decides to go on the aggressive. Angel Boy, very weak, does go down. And meanwhile, Cube is trying to keep Blacksea low in the phase shift. Will work out better that time round, but he has fed the mech. And that will allow a bit more support in this left-hand side lane. Big taps onto Javi there, and EMEA will finish him off.
5 gems to 4. And EMEA not done on the left side, pushing Blacksea out as well. Man, NAVI, head on a swivel, as Queso tries to find the flank time and time again. But NAVI know about it, and EMEA is winning this 1v1 over and over and over again.
Boss comes in. Q very low. Oh my word, able to survive. The toolbox yet again in the kit of NAVI, which I always kind of question. But I mean, hey, it works for them, right? So let's just keep going with it and rinse, cycle, and repeat. In the meanwhile, they managed to bring this back under what was a very, very close call there. 9 gems. Blacksea can't contest the mid, leaving Javi all alone to do so. But now the countdown is on. But can NAVI hold it this time?
May. Just doing work. Cube holds all 10 gems, and now it's up to the team to just stand in front. Cube takes this one. NAVI get game 2.
Because NAVI just seemed to have that kind of iron exterior that's going to be, and another one as well. Let's see, though, in the early outsets, who is going to get the upper hand. Cube going very, very aggressively into the mid and does collect 2 gems for his trouble, but Team Queso playing the slower and patient game. Back splatter into the mid from Javi there will just allow Cube to think twice about how aggressive he was going in, but out of mecha form almost there as well. So a very aggressive start from NAVI. They've got to be a little bit cautious here. They don't get too confident, actually.
NAVI goes ahead and winds up falling down a little bit. Yeah, confidence is one thing. I really think that they just fell in the execution here, trying to make this lane swap happen. Cube trying to shift over to the right side, and EMEA just kind of walked into it. Queso now looking for the all push as Blacksea makes his way up left lane, but it's a good trade, 2-on-2 now, as Team Queso has mid control for all.
Big Sweet Dreams done there as well from Angel Boy, but he will go down nonetheless, and Cube's going to have to try to juke his way around this. The shield won't be nearly enough, and the gems now with EMEA, not really where they want to be under this scenario, but nonetheless probably going to be split. Let's see, though. It will mean that he'll have to be a bit more cautious as to how aggressive he is going to be on these left-hand side lanes, but nonetheless, the turret will help out considerably, and 2 gems in the pocket for Cube. 1 more sitting down the right for Angel Boy to pick up. They're split 3 ways now, but that might actually be okay. As long as they can keep banking and keep back Team Queso from this mid, there could be a countdown coming in soon.
I think the spread gems might be an issue. They really want to play Protect the President with Cube being said president. He's got a big HP pool, and it's been successful up to this point. Obviously knocked out here as Blacksea makes a great flank. Angel Boy can't deal with Boss. And the Carl wins not once, but twice. All the gems on the floor. Cube tries to make the play, but he can't. Boss is alive, gets on out, but can't grab all of the gems. And so we're back where we started, except NAVI might be even better. They hit 10. That's countdown.
11 from the mid as well. It's going to be a takedown. Cube with a huge swipe in the left. Takes care there of Javi. It's down to Boss and Blacksy, and Blacky's incredibly low. Boss going in as well. We'll get the takedown, but is it too little, too late? 2 seconds on the clock. Not going to happen. NAVI come out on top.
To the margins at this level of play, man. One gem can make or break the entire set.
Tiny increments
like that.
It really is. Yeah.
Crazy, man. We're going to Heist now.
Well, historically, this has not been Navi's best map going back to 2022, and I distinctly remember questioning the penny pick here when they picked it. But I think now it's actually really viable. We'll see how they go with it. But the bans being Max, Nita, and Colette on the side of Team Queso for Navi, the Ruffs, the Spike, and the Barley. It's definitely a great thing to have this map in the rotation, in my opinion. But I do prefer the bans I feel on the side of Team Queso, which makes me feel like they actually won the coin toss, it seems like. I thought maybe from the bans that they didn't, but they're going to go with Ems, and I think that's a very, very strong pick to have. Certainly can just absolutely tear through the safe. As you get that mid-control, that's what it's going to be about. So Team Queso are certainly looking for that lane aggression in their follow-up picks.
I love the Nita ban here. I think it's really intelligent. We've talked kind of at length about the change to Nita, where the bear's a little bit more powerful thanks to the... But specifically on Heist is where Nita really shines. The bear does a ton of damage to the box, and banning her in other game modes, I'm probably raising my eyebrow. But here in Heist, I think it's a nice look.
Daryl is a very bold pick coming in from Navi first time round, and a lot of people think that obviously is, and Ems is a good, decent counter to it, but nonetheless, if you get that roll just right and close the gap and exacerbate the gadgets there for the friend zone on the side of the Ems, it can be pretty decent. But ultimately, their bans kind of say a similar story. You're banning out the Spike, picking the Otis. These are really big brawlers that would take down a Daryl, so they are minimizing the opportunities for Team Queso to have a response here. A couple of throwers are still available here, but I'm liking the boldness of where Navi are leading with this. But Team Queso now, again, have got to match that aggressive side lane idea, and against the Daryl, it's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, I like Navi's choice here. A lot of times teams... Conventional wisdom is that you should kind of respond to picks and this, that, and third. Navi's playing their own game. They're like, yo, we're doing the Daryl thing. We know what's up. And we're going to ban or pick to support it. You know what I mean? I think there's something to be said about jumping in, knowing the cards that you're going to hold, and just daring the opposition to deal with it. And with that said, the Surge choice, I do like it against a Daryl.
It's very, very good. Exactly for that same reason. It is, however, slightly risky because you want to get off that slow and sluggish start. You need to start to gain your supers and cycle them effectively, get those stacks in and increase your range along the way. Primo coming in for Queso, and I really do like that. I feel like actually Team Queso managed to find a bit of a balance that I wasn't expecting them to do. It's a very decent draft, actually, now, if they can just start to keep the pressure on, just keep that Primo rolling in, but that's obviously what Navi intends to do as well. So I wonder whether they're going to consider another thrower aside from the Barley. I mean, I think the Barley's the better of the bans for it, but let's see how they approach this one if they want to break open the map. Yeah, I love it. I wasn't going to say it, but I was leading, wasn't I? Throwers, wall breakers, Dynamite coming in, and I do not see that as a troll pick by any means. I mean, if you've been sticking with the BSC for a while now, you realize that Dynamite's in a pretty decent place. You've probably been playing ladder and having consistent problems against Dynamite. I mean, there's the speed to that kind of brawler, the ability to land your shots with a slower detonation now as well. It's a really, really good one. I just wasn't bold enough to say it.
That's fair. You know, I mean, that's the fun part about this job. We just look in the rearview mirror all the time. So, like, it's all good. Dynamite popped up in a cup like once or twice across the BSC region wide, but it's usually been like a cheeky pick or some, like, this just makes a lot of sense. And it's Navi, so I'm excited. Like, you know, they play off the wall stuff. So that's what I'm here for, Bob. Boss on the bottom side, though, immediately going to work, bringing the enemy safe down to 64% from the Primo.
Love that confidence displayed there from Cube, just knowing that the mute was going to poison trickle down Boss, and very, very at ease to leave him to it. But now Javi and Blacksy have broken through the mid, and that's going to be a tremendous amount of damage. A swift takedown, though, was needed, and Cube did land the shot. just as he had to. In the meanwhile, Angel Boy's getting consecutive taps, and we are definitely getting a bit of a base race here, but now MMA and Q behind this push, and this could well be over for Navi here, as they might be able to skew the damage they need. 9% is left, and a chance to glimmer for Team Queso to respond.
Ton of time left, though. So if Navi can't get back on the field, Queso can respond. MMA has to choose defense or offense, ultimately chooses the former.
Wow.
Both of his teammates go down, though, and here comes Primo to deal with Angel Boy as well. So that 9% is a gigantic 9%. Still a minute to go, and Navi have not made any progress.
Oh, a bit of a missed jump there from Blacksea, but I mean, Javi was doing amazing work, just juggling his tasks, and the burn down there will be there onto the safe, but it is defended, allowing Angel Boy to start to sneak through. The slow from Javi is big, but is it going to be enough? The shots do land. 212 HP left on the safe. 1%. Team Queso have got to end this, and end this now before MMA rolls in.
He's going to roll in, and he's going to get it done. Oh no feeling where we watch Navi kind of one by one go in and get killed, go in and go killed, and go in and go killed. Finally, they coalesce, and they make the play as a team. Nice job, kind of. They lost it a little bit, but they brained it back in, and that was important.
Angel Boy's going to town. I mean, he missed the super there, but he's able to cycle them so quickly. Does it even really matter? And Queso have got to be able to take him down. You know, he is a problem that they're just not dealing with at the moment. There's already so much damage dealt. The safe's down to almost 50%, and we barely even started the game.
Very troublesome. Game number one, Team Queso said, we'll fight fire with fire, and went aggressive. This time around, they pay attention to him, but Angel Boy's able to dodge enough that they don't take him down immediately. So it's 52% left for Team Queso. MMA gets in there to sneeze a little bit. But Navi still have 90%, as Queso this time around didn't race against the base.
Blacksea now going to jump in, but has to be a bit hesitant to do so because there's the stun and it will land. Angel Boy clears up the right-hand side lane, and as well as MMA rolling in, and more damage comes down. The early game is not great for Queso here. Navi know it. They're going on the hunt very, very early on before they can get those surge mobilities in play, but I just worry a lot here. Team Queso may have left it just a little bit too late to respond here. MMA on the left clears things up. Angel Boy is still alive.
Nice.
Boss finally gets it. They've got to go on the aggressive now. Team Queso have got to give Navi something to worry about.
Honestly, if I'm Team Queso, this is a 2-on-2, and Boss's job is to simply punch Mike. Angel Boy in his first defensive position of the entire set winds up winning it. 30% left for Team Queso. No, never mind. It's gone. Navi win again. I do want to bring attention to I do think I'm here to celebrate the Mike, but I think Mike had a little bit too much room to breathe. I think Boss could have easily shut down Mike, and the decision to fight fire with fire and be aggressive with the Primo didn't seem to work out. And I think that was the wrong choice. So we'll see if the decision-making is a little bit better for Team Queso going forward, because I think that might be the difference as Navi takes the field one more time. And the Amber first pick for Navi? Okay. The Amber first pick here on Ring of Fire. No secret, this is just one of my favorite brawlers. I like the way she works. Area denial, one of my favorite mechanics. She recently got a buff. The oil is going to make you slowed. So now the trouble puddle is even more troublesome. Amber is going to be a force to be reckoned with, and I want to see what they pair her with.
It's got to be a Leon for me for Team Queso. This is a Blacksea map if I ever saw one, and we saw OG playing a Leon so incredibly well recently in the challenge finals of the SPS on this very map, no less. I'm going to be maybe playing it slow. It could be a third and final one for them, but I definitely feel like it's one that can work once they see the big picture on the side of Navi. The Meg ban as well, the Lou ban, and the Max as well for Team Queso banned out. I think they were very, very smart here. This was absolutely a Meg map for Navi, and the Amber is one that we don't necessarily see them play all the time. So yeah, absolutely gonna be looking out for that new mythic gear on the side of the Amber to really get that slowing idea in those chokeholds. But Poco as well is going to be a big idea, which they could float because Navi love to pick up that particular brawler, and survivability is key. Eve, though, going to come in, and again, another brawler with a new mythic gear coming in. A potential additional spawner of the pets coming in on that front from the super. We'll see whether they want to run it, of course, but nonetheless, I do like the comp on the side of Navi, but Team Queso may very well have a trick up their sleeve with this Leon pick if they decide to play it.
Well, we got to see what the third selection here is for the blue team. And it's going to be an RT. And so some long range, let's say beef. I don't want to say tank, especially with the recent knockdown, but you know, long range thick boy, sure. We saw the RT purchased last time on on Hot Zone at least, and I think RT excels when he's, you know, kind of on the point. Ring of Fire for Navi, I think, is all about standing on the point and maintaining it. Retake will be a little difficult. Do you agree or disagree?
Yeah, objective always, at the end of the day, is going to be what wins. I'm a little bit sad to see they didn't go with the Leon, just because that was really where I just have so many great memories of 2022 and Black Sea and Team Queso really thriving off the back of it. And again, I've got to reiterate just how enjoyable it was to watch OG with STMN, the SPS, really just showing why that brawl is so scary. But clearly worried a little bit about the range, and I don't think that Penny's by any means a bad pick whatsoever. But Black's going to be taking the reins on this B, and already a big battle for the mid as Javi pops the early gadget there to try to get mobility and damage kicked up a little bit of a gear, and Cube does fill the front of it. Good tap so onto Boss in the meanwhile, keeping that amplified shot above his head, and MMA trying to capitalize for that very reason. But so far, Team Queso is holding firmer in the mid.
Angel Boy right now focusing on, well, dealing damage. Took care of some grass on the left side as the mid lane loses the matchup, but MMA and Angel Boy combine to find the kill. Eve gets knocked up as Javi jumps on in, and now it's Angel Boy versus 2. Boss takes down Cube on respawn. And an easy kill on Amber. And Team Queso, for as sleepy as they've looked in the early stages of this set, Mark, they're making their moves now.
Yeah, they are. Well, quadruplets came in from the Eve super, but Cube quickly sorted things with a super of his own. Taking down now, though, 65% and climbing now for Team Queso into the mid. They've been really spending a great deal of the objective in mind, and can't really say the same for Navi, just a 22% for that, and a big jump in there from Javi. Gets the kill as well onto MMA, and now it's just Cube left all alone. It's just target practice here for Black Sea, continuing to tap. Cube is surely about to go down, but nonetheless, why not just leave him low? Exactly that, buy their time on the objective. Team Queso with a night and day difference now, as this looks to be potentially a set which they can manage.
We're not fooled. 99 turns into 100. We had everything good to say, and now I am quiet. Queso didn't allow Navi a chance to breathe whatsoever. Angel Boy did the work. Won some matchups, got rid of some grass. MMA killed people. I don't know if it's Eve specific. The RT, though, I could use more of, and there it is. 1 kill turns to 2, and MMA wins their fight as well. And so Navi steps up forward, stands on the pit, and will gain some percentage, 20%, just like that.
Yeah, solid stuff, really. But it's going to be quite key to see how Team Queso respond. It's the first time that they've realistically been under pressure, and they are responding pretty well, let's be honest. 1, 2, and now the third, just Angel Boy left alone, and he goes down as well. That was a really great retake from Team Queso there, and some confidence to add to things because they are 2 sets down, they need it. But now a Cube with that big pickup onto Black Sea with a 2 versus 3, not an easy one to go for, and Javi's going to come short there onto the jump, and oh, now it's not looking too good. Navi could well be on the way to a match point scenario, but I mean, we've seen that in the previous 2 matches, and we know what happened there, so I don't want to speak too soon and let the caster's curse come back around full circle here. But so far, it's good resilience here from Team Queso. They've brought things back a little bit. They are behind. They've got 30% now. They've got to get it more to 60.
Well, Cube certainly have a better game this time around. A couple of very important kills coming from the RT. I'm still looking at Angel Boy, though. Trades out versus Javi with some help from the mid lane. And now it's 2-on-2. Team Queso on the point. The Cheesy Boys now take the lead. And it's up to Angel Boy to try and find some position on this mid lane. Teammate to the left dies. And Angel Boy all by themselves falls down.
10% now and closing. It's going to be a huge defense for now because they do take back control over the mid. Now's the chance to buckle down, but they've got to be very careful of these Black Sea shots because that will be the way to turn things around, especially if he starts to land them. But time is of the essence here. Team Queso have got to make a push. They've got to go on the aggressive. NAVI are not far away from getting towards 90% here. It really is going to be a neck-and-neck finish.
Trouble. NAVI falls down. They lose the fight on the right-hand side. They lose the fight in the mid as well. MMA, the deployable is good enough.
NAVI has got to keep it up, bring his team back together and pick themselves up, brush up the dust. Going into Brawl Ball, Backyard Bowl is definitely, again, another map for me that does cater towards the Team Queso style. They do like those longer range affair kind of transactions. Javi especially is a real sharpshooter at hand, so I feel like this could be a chance to bring things back. At the same time, they've got to be on point with this draft because Navi love their tanks, they love their healers, and it's actually going to be a ban there on the left-hand side for Meg, an early draft for Team Queso. Other bans that were there were the Lola, the Bee, and the Colette on the side of Navi, the Bell, the Meg, and the Body.
Well, our max first pick here for Team Queso. You said this map might befit what Team Queso kind of brings to the table, that long range approach. Max, not always, usually looking to enable some of the more aggressive, short rangey guys. Do you think the Max selection signals a deviation from what we're used to at a Queso, or do you think we'll see the long stuff paired up with Max instead?
It keeps your options open, doesn't it? It's like an early, good, aggressive idea, which is going to put a lot of pressure, but ultimately you can combine it with range or with closer range as well. So handing things back over to Navi and allowing them to make the move gives them some options when it comes back around. Either way, you can't really ever go wrong with Max. I mean, it's pretty much up there with the top 3 brawlers in the meta, in my opinion. Aside them being Bee and the Penny and the Beast band here as well, Penny could be an option, especially on Backyard Bowl. We've seen this kind of like more stalematey ideas as both sides want to establish control, play a big factor. But Janet coming in is a huge pick for EMEA. Really thriving off the back of Janet. The drop the base can just keep your opposition really under scrutiny when they're pushed back into the spawn sides areas. So that might be the Penny pick that maybe Team Queso are now thinking about, just to be able to have as a bit more of a defensive tool. We'll see what they want to add to the mix, as I do feel like the closer ranged ideas are going to be a bit risky. So yeah, Carl for that reason, extending the range, but also keeping the aggressive ideas alongside that pairings with the Max. And I think it's quite crucial here because Team Queso can have options and really utilize a lot of what they've got to go on the aggressive when they need to.
Yeah, I like the Carl and the Max options. You keep saying a lot of words that sound like options, and that's what I'm seeing out of this Team Queso. It's just a lot of different choices, a lot of different ways to play.
Navi are unpredictable,
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so the PAM does sort of lock down playstyle ever so slightly, but this is still a composition that Team Queso can say, all right, we're going to play real aggressively. Pam's going to push up, and we're going to ready to go. And then if Navi start to do something different, they can go, all right, we're going to sit back a little bit. We're going to sit on the Pam totem. You know what I mean? You could play this multiple ways. Multiple approaches is key here for Queso, especially when you're playing into a team like Navi, who, as you said, you don't really know what's coming. And so, it's the Ice Cream Man. What's up, Lou?
It's a scary pick now. I mean, when you look at the other side of the field, there is no wall breaker there for Team Queso. So Lou is going to get a tremendous amount of value. I kind of feel like sometimes a little bit here on these kinds of drafts that on the side of Team Queso, it's all possibly, if they play it badly, a little bit too passive, actually. Having the PAM is an idea which, you can obviously have for the mid game, but if you're pushed back into your spawn, then you need those healing turrets to keep you in the mix. But that's exactly where Lou is going to thrive on the side of Navi and gain a ton of value. We see it so much in North America, and I don't know why Lou has not really transitioned over in the same way to EMEA, because it is such a good pick, but it's never really utilized that much. We'll see whether it works out here for Navi. I quite like it. I'm quite on side with both drafts here, actually. So I think it could be quite a close one, but we'll see who wants to gain that early start. And Team Queso look to be wasting no time at all, pushing the ball forwards. And Blacksy's on the left-hand side. Might get caught off guard here. Big shield from Angel Boy onto Cube, and that will give a bit more of an opportunity. Javi's got to deal with this, and he's got to deal with it quickly. He's got scraps like a gadget. Will he use it? He will. Oh, my word! Lands every shot into him, and somehow Cube finds the angle.
Beautiful play by Navi there, just winning the fight on the left-hand side, and clean and clear. Systematic play from Navi. Blue, I didn't even get to talk about him because he didn't really do much. It was Cube and MMA in the mid and the left that really opened up the map. Boss trying to play better this time around as he lost the duel. Now Team Queso have the advantage. It's up to Navi to play defense here.
Yeah, Queso really have got everyone locked down here. At the moment, Navi are the rats caught in the trap, but finally a little bit of a breakthrough as the ball pushed through. Cube can take to the skies if he needs to, but he wants to keep a little bit of a firming hold on the ground just to keep his team able to come back and fully replenish themselves. Great QQ Popper gadget there for Angel Boy as he just takes care of business. Now pushing forwards, Boss incredibly low, and a bit of a missed shot from Cube. Blacksy, though, stunned out. Should be a bit of a saving grace, enough for Navi to secure the defense. And they're doing pretty well under the circumstances. That could well have been a goal there for Team Queso, but they're staying cool and collected. That's what matters most, but more speed coming in now and a chance to retry that push.
I think that's the right call, trying to play it calm. 30 seconds is not a lot of time, but might be enough to be able to push this in, knowing the ball's in the back left. That said, with this performance from Navi, I think that might be all she wrote here, Ark. It was important. No, it needed to happen. Queso needed to win that fight. I don't think they have enough time here.
Yeah, if Navi are going to be playing this smart, they'll put the supers onto the ball from the side of the loo and just ensure that there's not enough time to get the ball in the first place, and that's exactly what they're going to do now. But Blacksy will clear up the right-hand side lane. There could be enough time here, but they've got to take us with a really aggressive push, and that's exactly what they tried to do.
3 seconds!
He get it! Oh my goodness, he gets it, but is it enough time? No! Blacksy...
If there were 2 more seconds on the clock, you would have lost that. And Navi go, there wasn't. They knew how it was going to go.
Insane stuff. Honestly, that was like such a difficult chance for the Team Queso to even get to the ball, and they almost scored out of it, but just the time was against them. They've got to learn from that. They've got to play more aggressively earlier on and give themselves these opportunities, and this could be very well one of them. The pass through to Blacksy. He's got the flying hook, but wants to get MMA down a bit lower, and it's just delayed things too much there. The shield was handed over, and as quickly as that, all of that momentum is diminished.
Tough stuff, man. The momentum, at the end of the day, you just need to perform it. Blacksy on the left-hand side gets looed!
Beautiful.
See you later, bud! Outplayed by MMA. Fantastic job out of the controller on Navi.
Just gonna marvel and behold how MMA is playing this Lou pick. You really have. I mean, he's got so many supers this match. I'd love to see that stat come the end of this back and forth, but let's see for the moment. Team Queso starting to secure themselves in a bit of a rough position. The ball was placed into a terrible spot there. Could have been better off on the right-hand side, really, but it's allowing Navi to recollect themselves and try to defend it more so, and that's exactly what they've done. They haven't got the goal yet. There's no goal on either side here, so it's a really key opportunity. They've got to take care of MMA. They've got to secure some takedowns. Then Blacksy comes in. Everyone does their thing. The ball passed through, and that will secure it. A great time for it too, but Team Queso now have got to play the defensive game. I don't know whether their aggressiveness is enough to hold their own for a second goal here. Let's see how they choose to play it, though. They've got options in that respect, but they might just choose to try to defend this as best they can.
Well, Navi's going to get aggressive here. Lou Super already down. Mistake? We'll see. Well, Blacksy's allowed to live here. Cube makes the right flank. Oh, looks like it was the wrong moment. Team Queso want to play it slow, and looks like game over here. 14 seconds left, Navi. Cube's going to take to the skies and see if he can do it here, but I think that's all she wrote, folks. Going to a game 3 here at Brawl.
So I'd love to see it go there myself. I'm sure production would too. It's been a long day for everyone, but this is what this region brings. Non-stop action in EMEA, and it just goes on. And I wouldn't want it any other way, to be honest. The great start, aggressive in nature there by Team Queso. Some big takedowns happening. It's now a 2 versus 2, but Blacksea is still such a threat on this Carl pick, and Cube won't pick the skies, he'll take the death instead, because at the meanwhile, Navi know that they can handle this 2v1 situation, and it's just going to be more fuel to the fire as MMA can't be close away now from another super. He just keeps cycling them over and over, and it's just such a headache for Team Queso that in return, they're bringing the speed to the mix, and that is what Navi is struggling with.
Yes, he keeps cycling the super. I still think he's tossing out these supers a little willy-nilly, Ark. Team Queso just gonna walk it on in. It's the second one, and it's the second one. Ooh, careful. Careful. Queso so close to finding this dub here. And then just a pass up? No, okay. Blue Super says, not right now, man. Back it up.
A very important moment there for MMA because Blacksea had full-on goal-scoring intention with that play there, and if he was able to get to the ball, it could very well have been that. Still, just that one goal there on the side of Queso, and that gives them the confidence going into our final minute here. It's Navi who needs to make the play. MMA has got super, a bit of a misclick there for sure. It's got to have been, unless he's preempting the fact that Blacksea might go in, but even then, I wouldn't go for that play myself. Angel Boy's left alone. This is a great scoring opportunity for Queso. They can just secure it, but it was a biased time with the shield as well. So now the speed coming in. Can all three members of Queso secure this right here? And now they're going in for it.
Oh, that's huge.
He gets it. Everyone taken care.
What are you doing?
Misclick from Javi.
What are you doing?
Oh my God.
No!
They've got the goal regardless. That is to be bared in mind. It won't be a complete enough to fumble, but it certainly was the misclick that could prove costly if Navi can score this goal.
And that if could absolutely be a yes. Cube takes the pass, kicks it in. No, defended by Boss. Perfect timing, and Team Queso breathes a sigh of relief as they almost watched their hopes walk away. But Clo came in here going, dude, of course we're going to win, even though nobody else was saying that. And now they're still saying it. Yeah, they dropped a couple of games in between, couple of sets in between, couple of moments in between. But as the great philosopher Vin Diesel once said, it doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning is winning. And if Navi take this one, it doesn't get put up there in their points column that it took that they lost to after. None of that happens. All that shows up is a W. And so that's what Navi's looking for here. Gene first pick overall as we jump into knockout. That's a good pick.
Gotta say, Vin Diesel's definitely up there as one of my top 3 favorite, philosophers of all time. The first brawler coming in for Navi is Gene. It's definitely one that brings a lot of versatility, and the heals will go a long, long way. But Out in the Open is a map that can kind of almost encourage teams to want to, survive on when they're put into that back corner of their spawn, and it does tend to go from bad to worse. Meg coming in now for Team Queso, and we know what that brawler can do here. So much survivability, but it does struggle a little bit with aggression. So if Navi wants to double down, I saw some fantastic plays in North America last month with Daryl on this particular map. I wonder whether they'll be daring enough to do just that. But Brock, I love in Out in the Open. You can just use your rocket fuel to break through the wall, have easy access to the mid very, very quickly, and it gives you options when you're placed on the back foot. When your opposition go on the aggressive, gives you a couple of choices to make. Do you want to go far right? Do you want to go mid? The Eve is banned, so they can't go left, unfortunately, but nonetheless, bans looking pretty decent to me across the board. Having Bonnie out of the mix for Team Queso is quite key, as well as the Eve for Navi. Some really good decision-making happening on both sides here, because this is one of the most important sets that both of these two sides have played all year.
Angel Boy again finds the RT. A lot of RT this set. Ark, talk to me a little bit about the camera guy and what you like about RT and where you think he fits into compositions.
My issue with RT is that you don't really get too much say when it comes to your super. It's largely used in the competitive scene as more of a defensive mechanism against brawlers like Gene. So pairing with Gene makes a lot of sense to me. But at the same time, Nani coming in for Navi, I should say, it's a great thing to have. You know, to have the peep rolling in. RT, I feel it will probably receive a rework to one of the gadgets where it doesn't really have much, as the Brawl Stars team was saying themselves on their podcast recently, Time to Explain. I think RT might receive some tweaks later down the lines. They've obviously touched things a little bit now with the super, taking down the tick. So when you've got your super, having the ability to have less shots activate now by half as what it used to be. Tick coming in on the side of Team Queso was what I was trying to say at the same time. But RT, for me, I feel like could be a better brawler if it just had a bit more of a versatile super. In its current state, all the pro scene are just keeping it pretty much as a sharpshooter.
That's the idea, you know, and I think as we get more and more brawlers coming out, we're going to see more and more like niche selections, more and more of that, where the super is very specific and a lot of times it's used defensively, but I mean, hey, the sharpshooter, he's doing damage. He's got 5,800 HP. So we'll see how it all works out here. Navi, bottom side. Team Queso top. And Meg in that mech needs to be the first target. Otherwise, the late stages of this knockout round will be tough to deal with. Team Queso have Navi in a corner. Not great. Here comes the tick. And, well, mitigated.
Great return to sender there. Use from Angel Boy, but I do admire the way that Team Queso have approached it so far. Keeping the pressure on the situation and keeping Navi back. Most importantly, that tick over time will just be able to whistle things down. They can just keep everything suppressed here. But now, keep coming in. Will it connect those boss there with a lovely little gadget pop, but MMA punches him for it. Blacksea will get
hit him!
Off. Low HP, but he's outnumbered here. 2v1. They surely should be able to deal with this on the side of Navi. Blacksea going to try his best to try to feed himself another super. Not going to matter. He'll come back in mecha form as well, regardless. And that round goes the way of Navi.
Very, very close. Very, very close. Meg there, Blacksea could have turned on that. Navi have to be, I mean, honestly, just better next time. Don't miss those shots, because you got away with it that time around. This time around, not so safe. 2 versus 3. Navi on the bad side.
Blacksea amplified up, and Cube tries to take advantage of it. Couldn't quite secure the kill, though. Blacksea will have to earn a new mech. And that could be a bit of a saving grace moment for Navi if they can start to rekindle this round. But it is really Team Queso to have all the high cards here. Trying to close the gap in and force back Angel Boy. Cube trying to just balance himself out here to allow a bit of an aggressive push once the peep comes in. But Tickhead coming in. Will it get taken care of? No. That leaves Cube incredibly low. And the tick shots will whistle him down even further. Team Queso have played this perfectly. And there's nowhere for Cube to go.
Nowhere to go at all. Round 1 and round 2 in opposite directions. And now we're here for the rubber round. Blacksea, again, the target of Navi. They really want to get Meg out of this mech early on. And I've got to say, I agree. I think that's the right choice.
Got to isolate it. Got to take care of it. It's so good at suppressing that back corner. And Navi know it. Keep coming in. Again, another big last hurrah from Boss, but Blacksea takes the front of it as well. And the tick head was cleaned up quite nicely. So by Navi, better than previously. And a few vengeful spirits from MMA do secure the takedown to Javi. It's now a 3 versus 1. And I don't even think Meg can handle this kind of scrutiny. It's going to be one easy pull, a bit of a spin from Angel Boy, and a securing
to come and flank you. So they had to keep their distance, target the other players while still maintaining, you know, dealing with the Mecha Girl. Really, really difficult balance there, but Navi does the dance. And so they are 1 set away from going to finals.
I've got to say that pin from Cube is vastly becoming more toxic than the Protesto. Thumbs down for me. I love it. It's got to be getting inside the minds of Queso somewhat, but regardless, they've got to keep all his emotions at bay and bring this one back as they are behind, but have got the comp and the legs to be able to do and bring this back. against the team like NAVI. Even so, a match point, let's be honest, F dot today of all days wouldn't be the strangest of things to see. Big pressure though from Cube, and big taps following up, and boss will go down to Cube. Huge moment. 2v3 now. Blacksy trying his best to earn that mech. He's got the shield, but oh, he goes down. No good at all, leaving Javi all alone. And this round surely goes the way of NAVI.
And one away from finals. That one would look like a little oops from Team Queso, to be honest with you. I don't think they wanted to lose that. But NAVI here taking the field one more time. Javi with a great super. Well, Javi with a super. I'm not sure. That grass was useful, so not a bad play.
A really important takedown there. Queso outnumbered, but are they outmatched? Angel Boy's low as well. Return to sender will get bossed low a little bit here. MMA coming in on the jump pad, but now he's going to be out of position here. Gets the pull though to boss. Huge pull from MMA, and he'll survive on. Boss though, can't do the same. 10 HP and a dream, and big body blocks from Blacksy.
The barrel coming through. NAVI very happy that they didn't destroy that. Blacksy back in the mech. That's going to be the most difficult part of this for NAVI to deal with. Tick doesn't have the super just yet. Everybody focusing on Meg. Blacksy alive for the moment. Cube will deal. And now, Cube versus Boss.
What?
Boss wins it.
The gas!
Just
the gas! Oh my word, the gas saved him! There was no way he was going to win that! A Tick versus AP with legs? Oh my word, a saving grace! A chance still for Queso! What a hand of God moment that really was!
I'm just speechless. I'm usually the big loud guy, and my mouth just opened agape. Oh my goodness. Stuck in the corner again is NAVI, and the Tick head goes and finds one, but it's 3-1, 3-2. NAVI have the upper hand.
Do they have the positioning power? That's the question. Return to center's big from Angel Boy, but Blacksy trying to keep everything under control. The swipe will miss, and now the chance for NAVI to respond with big taps, and Javi's low as well here. He can't really contest it. A chance for NAVI to escape this position and go on the aggressive.
Angel Boy missing these shots. Won't miss that one. I don't care how many it took. That's the one that landed. NAVI one away from finals. The pull is good, and NAVI are great. NAVI will head to the finals for the first time all year. Nostrovia to NAVI.
Привет! Huge congratulations to NAVI. You're going to hand it to them. They kept their cool, and